Okay, so first I'd like to thank you all for coming to listen to my speech. Today I'll be informing you all about the importance of adopting a child. So my first question is, do any of you know anybody who's been in the foster care system? And do any of you know anybody who's been adopted from the foster care system? So in 2011, there were 121,555 children who were in the foster care system, adopted in the United States of America. And according to the National Foster Youth Institute, there are 107,918 children who were not adopted in the year 2011. Now, the reason I chose 2011 is that it's a very important date in my life because my parents decided to adopt my little sister, Gabriella. Now, Gabriella has had a very hard life before we adopted her. She has 11 brothers and sisters, and all 11 of them have been taken away from the mother, who is suffering from a form of abuse, and they were all put into the foster system. So she knows a little bit about it. So this is Gabriella. If you didn't know, now you know. So what are the benefits of adoption? Well, you're essentially saving a child's life. Children who are in the foster care system don't get offered the same opportunities and benefits as children who are normally in a regular family. They get a lot more emotional support, they get a lot more physical support, they get support during school, they get more just overall opportunities. They get to go to school, they get food, they get a roof over their head, so it's very important. It helps counter abortion. This is very, it's not thought about, but it is a very big factor. So whenever parents see their children who are, they're not their children. Whenever parents see children who are getting adopted through the foster care system and they see that they're going to a good home, they want to have their children and they want to have them put into the adoption center if they can't properly support the child or, give proper shelter or something. They want to help the child grow up rather than just killing it. There's also a chance of lower population. If somebody has the urge to want a child or want to do better, give a child a better life, they're more likely to have a child. But if they see, that their children are just great and they're not all bad children, then they'll want to adopt rather than having more children. And population is a kind of problem right now, so it would help a lot to spread the message of adopting a child. Excuse me. What are reasons that children are put up for adoption? Well, most of the reasons involve the parents. Some parents suffer from forms of abuse, whether it's physical, mental, or emotional, okay? And drug abuse and substance abuse. So any of those types of abuse can be very negatively effective on the child. They can suffer from, physical abuse, which, they could get beat, they could get broken bones, they can, and CPS sees that whenever they go to school. CPS is Child Protective Services. They see that when they go to school and they realize, something's not right, so then they take the children from the parents. And that's where emotional abuse comes in, because not only are they getting, told that they're stupid, that they're not going to be anything when they get older, which is putting them down, but if they get taken from their parent, it's going to have a long-lasting effect on them. For an example, Gabriella still talks about her mom and still, feels terrible about what happened to her mom, and it's going to have a really long-lasting effect on her. There's also financial struggles in which the parent is not financially suitable suitable for the child to help raise it. If they're not able to feed the child, which causes anorexia, liver failure, kidney failure, stuff like that. And that can be very negative effect on the child. It can mess up everything and they could get a lower life expectancy rate. There's also drug abuse and substance abuse, in which the parents, they do drugs and they drink all day, which can lead to forms of abuse, but it can also cause the child to start doing drugs because it's all they know is what they see, so it's encouraged upon them. And last but not least, the parent is just simply not ready to be a parent, which means that, it mostly happens with teenagers, but it means that the parent, or like the 16-year-old, is scared to tell their parents they're not ready to take care of a child, they're not ready to provide for a child, they don't want the responsibility, so they'll give the child up for adoption. Or they'll abort the child, which is, the very last case scenario. We don't want that because everybody deserves to live. Right. According to adoptuskids.org, the reasons to adopt, the top 4 reasons. There are many more, but I'm going to tell you only 4 today. The top 4 reasons are that people can't conceive. They, of course, they want a child, but they don't have the proper things in their body to get that going. And they want a specific age group, so they can only want teenagers, they can only want middle-aged children, or they can only want babies, or they want to, start from there. They care about the children's welfare, they care about children in general. They just want to help all the children get on their feet and things like that. Because whenever they reach 18, they do grow out of foster care and they're just put on the streets to provide for themselves. And last but not least, you could simply know somebody who needs the guidance. For example, Gabriella again, she was one person who really needed help and she was about to put into foster care, but my parents stepped in and they really helped her. So this is why I'm telling you guys about this specific topic, because I want to persuade you to encourage adoption rather than, telling people to put it off because it's a financial deficiency. That's not what we want. You should want to care about people and you should want to spread the message of loving everybody. Okay, so thank you guys for listening, and I hope you guys spread the message.
Peace, love.